Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is, what if Yuji Itadori had Special Ice Part 2? Now, I'm not gonna do a recap since I did this yesterday, so yeah. Now, of course, I should probably just change the recap thing rules to whenever I feel like it, because that's how I usually feel like it doing it. Sometimes I don't want to just take time in the beginning. So yeah, I'll subscribe to Anime Sensei and also Iconic What If, because Iconic is going to do another video, I think tomorrow, because I saw his stream. Well, not his stream, just a title. But hey, I was doing something else at that time. Whatever. Let me begin in this what you call What If now. So, we begin in, a flashback. A flashback of, something happening. A girl was right now kind of fighting against curse users. About 5 curse users. And of course, she was kind of using her revolver to shoot at them. Now, of course, this is Maya Zenin. Now, Maya was right now fighting against what's called 5 curse users. One with the katana, another one with 2 axes, another one but using curse spirits to attack her. Well, 2 of them can use 2 curse spirits, or not 2 curse spirits. 2 of them can use curse spirits, and Snake like curse spirit. The other one uses kind of like a bear type curse spirit, and the last one was a range shooter, using a range curse object bow or whatever, curse object whatever. Of course, where Maya was dodging the attacks, but of course she couldn't dodge them. And of course, this was, she was just dodging them. And of course, she tried until one of the arrows actually hit her in the arm. And of course, she was like, shit. This is where, something happens. When the ranger tries to shoot at Maya again, and the others try to attack her, like the one with axes, something happens. Maya was kind of looking at, the person with axes trying to attack her. And of course, the guy with kind of shooting an arrow, trying to shoot an arrow at Maya. And of course, something happens. Something grabbed onto her from her waist and got pulled. And this is where, the person would actually try to swing at Maya. But of course, is where he gets shot by the bow, an arrow. Well, not bow, but the arrow instead. This is where he said, what the? This is where all of them says, what the hell? This is where Maya says, what the hell was that? This is where, someone with black hair right now floating or kind of defining gravity. What's it called? Goggles that are kind of brass and gold, red eyes, and a scarf and black clothes. And of course, is where and also his arm was bandaged up. So where he is holding one of the scarf lines, and of course then unties what's called Maya from it. And of course, this is where he rushes at, the others. The other, curse users. This is where all of them says, what the hell? Another Jujutsu sorcerer? Attack him! This is where the leader being, the guy with the katana. This is where, the guy with an axe tried to rush at, this person. Yes, this is Yuji. Yuji kicks him in the fucking skull, and then uses, his scarf to grab him and throw him at the person who's range shooting. This is where both curse users that actually use what's called curse spirits try to go at Yuji to use the curse spirits, and Yuji kind of uses his eyes to erase them and dodge an attack, making him making Yuji grab into a pole because they were kind of fighting in the roof, and of course there was just a pole there, and of course Yuji managed to swing from there and get up to the air and then drop kick one of them in the face. Of course, one of the curse users that can actually use curse spirits. This is where another one with the bear curse spirit tries to attack Yuji, but of course Yuji managed to erase that curse bear spirit and then knee him right in the freaking face, breaking his nose and also just knocking him out. This is where the last one left is the range user, but the range user just got shot by Maya. Maya had a couple bullets and she managed to shoot him in the head. Of course, she's still kind of hurt from her arm because her arm actually has to pierced by an arrow. And of course, she's like, damn it, arrow. Isn't wearing well. The last one, the leader, was saying, you bastards. You think I'm gonna lose to some jujutsu sorcerers? I won't do that. And rushes at Yuji with his katana. His katana's made with curse, spirits, so of course. It's made with curse energy, so yeah. Tries to slice it at Yuji. Yuji ducks and uppercuts him with his left arm right in the jawline. And then punches him right in the ribs. And then just knee him right in like the, not punch him in the ribs. Punch him like near his chest. Then knee him in the ribs. And then hit his legs to making him fall. And then punching him back down with his left arm and hitting him down to the ground. Cracking the roof a little bit, but of course is where Yuji jumps away. And of course the roof kind of collapses and the person falls down. Kind of breaking a couple of the building floors, but yeah. Yuji was saying, you okay? And this is where Maya says, who are you? This is where, Yuji says, my name is Yuji Itadori. And Maya says, Maya Zenin. It seems like you need some help. I'll help you. This is where he does pull out bandages and of course wraps it around Maya's kind of wooden arm. This is where, they kind of start talking a little bit. Kind of getting friendlier. And of course, then Maya was like laughing a little bit because of Yuji. And Yuji says, This is where, Maya says, so, can you help me with my little problem? How I told you the story about me and being introduced to sorcerer? Yuji says, I promise. I promise I tried to help you. Besides, I'm not going to jujutsu sorcery or whatever. I'm not a jujutsu sorcerer anyway. So I promise. We now go back into present time. Yuji opened his eyes and of course Maki's right now telling him, so what is your, telling Junpei about what is the special ability. Junpei kind of says his special ability is to bring out a squid, to use poison, or to even paralyze people and knock them out. This is where, Maki's surprise. What's it called? It's similar to, Megami's kind of bringing out shadows. Like bringing out the 10 shadow technique or whatever. With the different animals, but yeah. This is where, Megami says, so it's basically just like mine, but a weaker version, but I can't use a squid. And Junpei says, I guess so. Yeah, I guess you can say it like that. This is where Megami says, whatever. This is where, Maki then looks at, Yuji and says, what about your abilities? Yuji says, she didn't say, what about your abilities? She says, how do you know my sister? Yuji doesn't say anything. And says, my abilities? I am good at fighting in close-to-close, hand-to-hand combat. I'm also good in long range, somewhat. I'm able to, my eyes are very important in my, fighting combat skills. Either that or I don't even need my eyes to fight you. But yeah. Also, Yuji's arm is still bandaged up, his left arm, but yeah. Is it very well? Maki says, I didn't ask for your abilities. I asked how you know my sister. Yuji says, that I met her before. And this is where, Maki says, when? Yuji says, 1 year ago. That's all. And this is where Maki says, but what day? What Pacific day? I want to know why she was angry at you and why. This is where, Yuji says, don't you want to know about my eye abilities or? This is where Maki says, no. She was about to grab Yuji from like the, scarf until Yuji dodges her super easily. And this is where Yuji kind of looks at Maki. And of course, he can somewhat look to see curse energy, just like the sixth size, but of course, he won't be able to see the weaknesses or anything like that. or well, not weaknesses, to kind of figure out his weakness and blah blah blah. Since the sixth eye can't really calculate a bunch of knowledge and all that. But yeah, Yuji can usually also see what's called his eyes, his demonic eyes, to kind of look and see how much people have cursed energy, or how much they're channeling or whatever, somewhere like that. But of course, when he looks at Maki, he sees zero cursed energy, which widened his eyes, surprised him. But then again, he did kind of read on the reports with the other students. So yeah, he kind of read that Panda's only a cursed corpse. He's special because he's actually the principal is kind of like cursed corpse. Maki being someone who can't use cursed energy or anything, but is extremely strong, and it's from the Senin clan, and of course it's Maya's sister. And of course then, red on Nobra. Nobra can actually use like nails and a hammer with her curse kind of technique and all that. Curse energy technique and all that. And of course red on Togo, who is able to use cursed speech. Megami, who's able to bring out kind of like animals out of shadow. And also kind of that's all of it. But yeah. Now, of course, this is where, the announcer says 1 minute left. This is where Gojo was the one to say it. This is where, so this is where, Yuji just says, we gotta get ready. This is where, all that they got from, Panda, Togo, Nobra, and even Megami, all they got from Yuji was he's good at hand-to-hand combat, and also his eyes are important. Now, Megami sees that Yuji hide away some things. First of all, the left arm that he has is still bandaged up, and of course Yuji is hiding that. And of course, you can only see bandaged up from his hand, which they think that he's wounded and all that. But of course, it's just a long sleeve covering up his arm. So yeah. Of course, Megami says that his eyes are also special. I guess that Yuji did point that out, but didn't actually point out his abilities. But yeah. Of course, this is where I realized that Yuji is someone that doesn't like trusting anyone. Except for Junpei. But yeah. This is where, Junpei kind of walks away with Yuji, and of course, this is where Yuji is saying, man, this is such a drag, don't you think? Junpei says, Yuji, you gotta stop being kind of lazy and tired about doing things. Where you use the sorcerers now? Yuji says, I didn't want to, but, I gotta somewhat protect you because, I know one thing, you're probably gonna rush in and do something dumb. This is where Junpei says, no. Yuji says, okay, sure. That's where Junpei says, whatever. But, just saying, we're to use the sorcerer, so we gotta be always active and ready to fight. We're not gonna be like overpowered like Gojo Sensei. Yuji says, you mean the snow hair guy? This is where we go into Gojo kind of with the other teachers and principals. And of course, he just sneezes randomly. He's like, this is gonna be such a good year for the exchange fans. This is where Urahime says, what do you mean? And then Gojo just sneezes randomly and says, what the hell? First of all, I feel like people aren't talking about me. This is where Urahime says, bless you, I guess too. I don't really care about you that much, but sure. This is where Gojo says, no, I feel like someone was talking about me. This is where Urahime says, are you sure someone was talking about you? Or are you sure just someone just doesn't like you? Or, yeah. Gojo says, the second one. I know one person that usually calls me white with snow hair too much. And of course, that is Yuji Itadori. This is where Urahime kind of laughs and all that. Snow hair? Then again, that does kind of, what's it called? Your hair is similar to that. And this is where, Gojo says, whatever, I should not said that. This is where Urahime says, that kid is actually brilliant to call you snow hair. This is where, Gojo says, stop calling me that, okay? My hair might be white, but that doesn't mean I am basically snow. Oh no. Basically, your hair is kind of white, so I'm guessing we're gonna call you Snow for now. This is where Gojo says, whatever. This is why Urahime says, said really, the only time you're ever gonna sneeze is because we call you Snow hair. This is where, well, or Snowy, or whatever. This is where, well, Gojo says, don't call me Snowy, okay? Whatever, Snowy. Gojo says, well, I shouldn't be talking, Urahime, since you're the one weaker than me. This is where he sticks out his tongue and all that at her. And this is where Urahime throws a cup and all that. But of course, Gojo still talks about traitor and all that. Urahime says, alright, so why are you telling me this still? This is where Gojo says, because you're weak, again. This is where she just decides to try to throw the chair at him until the principal says, Urahime, stop. This is where Urahime stops and says, God damn it. Gojo kind of laughs a little bit, but yeah. This is where, well, the principal named Hyage says, Gojo, those two students that you got, Junpei and Yuji Itadori, or Itadori Yuji, what can they do? This is where Gojo says, well, it's a surprise to tell you, but Junpei can summon out a squid to help him in battle. Mostly the squid can use poison, paralyze, or, well, poison counts as paralyzing. Either poison their enemies, killing them slowly, or paralyzing them, or knocking them out to just go to sleep or whatever. This is where, well, they are kind of shocked to see, well, what's it called, Shinigami? Or not Shinigami, whatever they're called in what's it called in Japanese, but the summoning creature. This is where they're kind of shocked with that. This is where, well, Yage says, interesting, what about Yuji? Yuji's a different case. Well, not, what's it called? They didn't say Yuji. It says Itadori. This is where, well, Gojo says, Itadori's in a different case. He actually has special eyes like me. This is where all of them were kind of widened, even Mei. And of course, this is where, well, Yage says, what do you mean special eyes like yours? Are you saying he also has the 6 eyes? No. Gojo said, no, he cannot have the 6 eyes. No, because there's only one pair of 6 eyes. Why the hell was I gonna say 6-eyed guy? Whatever, 6 eyes. There cannot be 2 in, well, one, what they call, well, one dimension or whatever you like to say. One universe or anything like that. Well, at a time or whatever. As it were, well, Yage says, then what do you mean his eyes are special? His eyes are red, slick red. Of course, they kind of look creepy, but of course, actually awesome because they're like crystallized red. So think of it like ruby red. But of course, well, his eyes are special with those. He can, well, erase your cursed energy, permanently or non-permanently. This is where they're widen their eyes and says, what do you mean, Gojo? This is where, well, Gojo says, like I said, he can erase cursed energy. This is where Urahime says, does that mean you fought against him before? Yeah, but not really. I kind of saw him when he was fighting against a special curse. This is where, well, they were shocked. They're like, did he win? Yep, he kicked the shit out of a special what's it called? Just like a special grade one. This is where, well, it was only the one that it kind of ate a Sukuna finger. They're kind of shocked. But then this is where, well, Gojo says, also, he fought against another special curse. But this one kind of being more human feature, but also being somewhat of a curse still. And being more powerful than the normal, well, one of those that eats a Sukuna finger. That's where Nonami kind of told me about. This is where, well, they're shocked. Did he defeat it? Yes, but at the cost of his eyes kind of hurting. So yeah, this is where Gojo didn't explain that Yuji can use what they call a laser from his eyes, like shoot a laser, like a blast from his eyes, because he doesn't want, well, them to kind of figure that out. Instead, he wants to surprise them a little bit. Now, he did also what's it called, when Gojo was kind of training with Yuji, he did find out that Yuji kind of explain a little bit that he can erase cursed spirits. If they are, it doesn't matter if they're weak or strong. If, like this, Yuji said that if they're weak spirits with kind of tiny amounts of cursed energy, Yuji said, then I can erase them without problem. My eyes won't be hurting. Which I can do it from either one eye or both eyes. Either eyes, whatever. That's what Yuji says. If it's a cursed object, like one of the fingers you told me about, that's where Gojo says, wait, what do you mean? Yuji says, well, I might have used my left eye to accidentally, not accidentally, permanently destroy and erase from existence one of the fingers, and that's why my eye was kind of overused, my left eye. Gojo widened his eyes and was shocked to hear that. This is where Gojo says, that's surprising. That amount, you just erase it from existence? That's crazy. Yuji says, well, that was just because of my one eye. I thought I could do it one eye, but then again, that almost hurted my eye fully. So, of course, this is where Yuji says, but with both eyes, I don't actually know if I can erase it without hurting my eyes and having a strain on my eyes. This is where Gojo nodded. He says, continue. Then Yuji says, but if I'm going against a stronger, cursed spirit, I probably won't be able to erase it. That's why I kind of use that one blast. That's where Gojo nodded. Interesting. So that's why, to obliterate your enemies. If you can erase them, you have to just obliterate them, hoping if they get obliterated with the blast. Yuji nodded. This is where Gojo says, interesting. Very interesting. So Gojo didn't explain that he can erase permanently and, not permanently, permanent or non-permanent. So what I mean, Yuji can actually erase someone's cursed energy in a specific place. Like if someone's using cursed energy in their arms or legs or whatever, or their whole body. This is where Yuji can use his eyes to erase it for temporary, and of course they won't be able to use their cursed energy, and of course have to fight against Yuji in hand-to-hand combat. Now, of course, Yuji can also kind of use his eyes to kind of like either permanently erase the part or permanently erase or cursed energy to kind of being like Maki. But of course, Yuji doesn't really do that unless he's going against a cursed user and he just doesn't really care about this cursed user and just erases cursed energy. Of course, this is where Yuji kind of always just uses the one for temporary. And of course, Yuji can actually make the temporary be lasting longer for even 2 seconds or 3 hours. 3 hours would take too much time and he has to focus enough. But if he's going for like 30 minutes, he doesn't need to focus that much. So yeah. So that's how his erasing ability works. Now, Yuji has also use another ability, and that is called command. Now, of course, this ability is similar to that of the Code Geass. Now, not Code Geass, the Geass Eye from Code Geass. Now, if you don't know what Geass is, it's basically what Lelouch uses his Geass ability that he actually has, his special ability to command people if if Lelouch gets eye contact with you. So yeah, that's what Yuji can use. Of course, your eyes will go red, like someone having like a red ring around your eye, but of course you'll be able under Yuji's control. And of course, this is where Yuji actually has somewhat of a range. You can't go off the range of Yuji, but say. So of course, Yuji has a max range of Yuji has a control of you over 1 mile. So of course that's how big he has it. But if you're out of that mile, like you accidentally being under what's called Yuji's control, and Yuji just tells you to walk out of the 1 mile, you're out of his control. If you walk back into the mile, you're out of his control though. So yeah. But yeah. But of course, every time you walk further away from Yuji and further, his cursed energy gets a little strained every time. So of course, that's the reason why he doesn't use command that much. The only thing he uses command if you just go to sleep. So yeah. Or if he just wants to cheat on something, but yeah. But yeah, that's the only time he uses command. He doesn't use command for you to, well, he can also use command for you to actually fight along with him. Or fight against your, enemies, or not enemies, or friends, and blah blah blah. But yeah. Yuji didn't explain that to anyone, but yeah, except for Gojo. And Junpei also knows about that. Now, of course, Yuji's command can also help people. He can tell someone to not die. And if that person is next to Yuji and someone has a gun pointed at that person's head, then the reflexes of the command happening, the activation, saying not to die, will actually make their reflexes, speed up and everything speed up so he won't die. So, yeah. If you want to think about it, think of it like how Lelouch told, I forgot his name, his best friend not to die, and of course they didn't die from a blast attack. But yeah. Now, of course, Yuji can also use his eyes to put some people in an illusion, like a Sharingan, but yeah. Now, of course, he only does that just in case he wants to either get away or he wants to sneak attack you and knock you out. So, yeah. So, of course, we go into, Yuji now. Of course, everyone is getting ready. Yuji puts on his goggles and, of course, gets ready and all that. But, yeah. Of course, this is where, Junpei also gets ready and all. And, of course, he gets ready to just run and all. And Maki says, let's go. And this is where Gojo says, go, go, go. And, yeah. So, of course, this is where all of them are rushing. Of course, Yuji is right now running through. And of course, this is where the principal from the other side doesn't really tell his students to go after Yuji, because Yuji is not the Sukuna vessel in this world, or in this timeline. So yeah. So of course, this is where the only person but we go into a POV before anything happens. Maya was kind of questioned by the other students about how she knows Yuji, but of course she doesn't say anything at all. Even some people questioning about his abilities, she doesn't say anything. The only one person she tells is kind of her friend, the blonde hair girl. I forgot her name. But yeah, this is where she tells the blonde hair girl not to go anywhere near Yuji, even if you're in mid-air. Because, she doesn't want her kind of friend to kind of fall down from the height hidden in the ground. She doesn't know if Yuji will even catch her. She only knows that Yuji was kind of nice to her because, but she doesn't know if Yuji would be nice to other people. So, of course, she doesn't want to risk it. So, of course, that's what the only thing she told her friend. So, yeah. But, of course, she also told, she did tell, the others not to go after Yuji because she wants to go after Yuji herself. That's where, Todo says, I don't really care and I'm leaving because he has to go get some tickets or whatever he said. But yeah, of course, as well, Todo, we go into the present time. Todo Todo still appears and says hello. This is where Yuji, he uses a scarf to grab Todo from the, not even Todo, to grab from the tree behind Todo and kind of pull, himself towards Todo and knee him right in the face. This is where Todo decides to get launched a little bit further back. And of course, all of them just, Maki-sensei split, everyone. So, of course, this is where Junpei is right now following Maki and Fujigoro. And of course, this is where, Nobra, Panda, and even Togo are right now running towards the same spot and all that. While Todo is right now saying, I guess you'll be my opponent. Yuji's Itadori. This is where Yuji says, yup. This is where Yuji says, bring it on. Is it where, well, Todo says, nice outfit there. But that won't save you even if you use your scarf multiple times. This is where Yuji's right now rushing at, what's it called? Well, Todo, and Todo's rushing at Yuji. This is where Todo decides to try to punch at Yuji. Yuji dodges because he's flexible as fuck, and then kicks at Todo from when he dodges it. Kicks him from what's called the left side. This is where Todo managed to block it. Well, try to block his ribs, but of course he gets hit by that. And of course, this is where, well, Todo says, I see. You're strong, you're flexible, and you're very fast. Just like a proud warrior. Now, I'm gonna ask you this question, Yuji Itadori. What type of woman are you interested in? And this is where Yuji stops for a second and says, what? This is where, well, Todo says, you heard me. What type of woman are you into? This is where, well, Yuji says, personality-wise or the other side. This is where, well, Todo says, I will just answer you this. Not the personality side. I want to know, what type of woman are you into? Like her body and all that. This is where Yuji says, fuck. This is where Yuji says, That's a very interesting question. I really don't like answering questions like this. Well, sure, I'll answer you. The type that Maya's body looks like. It isn't where Todo says, I see. So you like them kind of, well, the same size as you, aren't you? Same height as you. This is where Yuji says, no, I'm 5'9". And I think the last time I remember Maya, she should be, Todo says 5'8" right now. The last time you probably met her was probably 5'7" or something like that. Yuji says, yeah, she's cute. So, I don't like anyone kind of attacking her. And I don't like anyone kind of harassing her or doing any stupid shit because I'll murder them in an instant. This is where his eyes kind of go a little bit darker shade red, but of course he's kind of demonic when his voice kind of went deeper. This is where Todo says, I see. Then you will be a great warrior then. Let's see. Who will be stronger, me or you? Yuji Itadori. So of course, Todo doesn't tell what to call Yuji friend because yeah. Yuji didn't pick what to call a girl with being tall and being, well, having a nice curvy, big. Yeah, you get the point. This is where, well, Yuji says, okay, then let's do this. He kind of just doesn't use the excitement voice, but he's kind of excited to fight. This is where, well, he rushes at what's called Todo. And, well, yeah, Todo. And of course, this is where Todo punches at Yuji, but then tries to knee Yuji. But Yuji manages to dodge with flexibility and uses his scarf to go, well, get to the tree branch and pull himself away from the knee attack before. Well, Yuji was about to punch what's called Todo before the knee. And of course, Yuji managed to pull himself away and then knee him right in the back of the spine. This is where Todo was shocked. That speed, that flexibility, that reaction time, all those is showing that Yuji's so good in fighting. And of course, this is where, well, Mei Mei is right now, well, yeah, Mei Mei, she's showing everyone's fighting and all that. And of course, it doesn't just show what's it called, the other students and all that, or not the students, the view and all that. It shows the other students and also, well, what's it called, the Tokyo Kyoko student fighting right now. But it also shows Yuji versus Todo, because the principals and even the teachers and Gojo wanted to see what's called Yuji's fight. Because, well, they're not really, what's it called, Mei Mei didn't get paid off from the other principal to not show Yuji's fight, but yeah. But of course, they're right now just like looking at the fight between Todo. And of course, this is where Urahime is right now shocked. Seeing Todo is kind of losing between the battle of the fight between what's it called Yuji. Yuji's reaction time, his speed, his, well, flexibility, his punches are all on a different level. This is where she looks at what's it called Gojo and says, what the hell did you train him with? Gojo says, I didn't train him. That was all just him. I don't know who trained him. I don't know if he was just born like this, but he's born as like a beast, a monster, a demon. He fights like there's no tomorrow. Is it where? Well, she says, I refuse to believe that. She says, I refuse to believe that. I really thought you trained him. This is where, well, Gojo says, I didn't though. This is where she says, whatever. Let's keep watching this. So, of course, between the battle of what's called Todo and Yuji, Todo could not really fight against Yuji. So, of course, he then decided to think of a great idea. Enhancing his body with cursed energy. Now, Yuji, he does have his eyes open, and when he sees that little flicker of cursed energy being activated and all that, is it why? Well, he erased it. And of course, Todo is right now hardening his body with cursed energy. And of course, saying, come on, Yuji, try to hit me then. And of course, Yuji erased the cursed energy that was enhancing his body to kind of, what's it called? Well, block the punch that Yuji was going to punch at him. And of course, it was Yuji's left arm and all that. And of course, well, not left arm, right arm. But of course, this is where Todo says, you think you can defeat me? I have curse. And this is where he realized one thing. He can't channel any more cursed energy. Because he feels having no cursed energy. He can sense no cursed energy or nothing. And he gets punched in the stomach. He goes, he launches into multiple trees. This is where, well, Urahime says, what the hell even happened? Gojo says, I see. I'm guessing that Todo tried to enhance his body by making it stronger. So of course, when Yuji decided to punch at Todo, Yuji's arm would have probably break. Is it where? Well, Urahime says, yeah, I already know that, but wait, you're talking about his erasing ability. Yuji's erasing ability. He can do that so easily? I thought it would just take him a while or something, what's it called? He had it to touch what's it called, Todo or anything like that. Gojo says, no, it's his eyes. He doesn't even need to, what's it called, do eye connection or anything like that. He can just use it automatically. Just sending a pulse of cursed energy into his eyes by sending his pulse of energy at Todo. This is where he cancels out the cursed energy from Todo's body. This is where, well, she is shocked, and of course, Todo is shocked. He gets up and says, what the? How? That can't be impossible. I enhanced my body with cursed energy. But wait, your eyes, they're crimson red, being slicked a little bit like a demon and all that. But, does your eyes have something special? No. But that arm, it was also bandaged up. What ability do you use? Because there's no way that you could easily just punch me with a normal punch without cursed energy in it. Yuji says, no, I did use cursed energy. This is where Todo says, you really think I'm an idiot for that? You realize I have a 2. Whatever, the same IQ, just like the original canon, because, yeah. And of course, this is where, well, Yuji says, I see. You're pretty smart. I'm amazed. Then you should figure out what I can actually use. This is where, well, Todo says, very secretive. But you should really tell me what's your ability. This is where Yuji says, nah, I'm only good in hand-to-hand combat. And my scarf is not made out of cursed energy, so yeah, good luck with that. That's where Yuji uses 2 of his, what's it called, well, the scarf ends. Yeah, the scarf ends to kind of pull himself into, well, one of the trees, with the other one kind of wrapping, well, into 2 trees, and launching himself at Todo, drop kicking him in the stomach. This is where, well, Todo tries to put, what's it called, only cursed energy in that spot, and then tries to grab, what's it called, Yuji from, stopping him from kicking him away and all that, and grabbing both of his arms to try to grab Yuji and all that. This is where, well, when the kick was going to get connected into Todo's stomach, and Todo says, I don't know how you could have stopped my cursed energy, but this time I was sent it. He also did enhance his what's called arms to have cursed energy to try to grab what's it called Yuji faster, but Yuji then twists himself in the mid-air, kind of launching himself up and then going around using still the same trees that are still hanging on with what's called his scarf, and then just back kicking what's it called Todo. This is where Todo just felt a kick behind him, and it did hurt him a lot because he thought that 1 second angle, what was it called, the 1 second hit, because yes, Yuji was seconds of hitting what's it called Todo. He thought that he would be able to grab Yuji, but no, Yuji managed to just twist himself mid-air and do a back kick. This is where, well, Todo says, I'm having enough trouble with you, aren't I? This is where Yuji says, yup. This is where Yuji says, I might have to end this because I need to get to Maya. This is where, well, Todo says, so you think you can end this? I won't let you. Todo then decides to try to put curse energy back into his body. And of course, this time it's flowing perfectly fine. And this is where Todo rushes at Yuji with blinding speed. Of course, this is where Yuji puts curse energy into his arm now. But this time, it's heavy dense, but of course, it looks like it's being held back a little bit. That's where Yuji rushes at Todo with blinding speed also. Putting no curse energy into his legs or nothing, just using his raw speed and power. This is where Yuji dodges the attacks from what's called Todo and all that. And this is where Todo tries to punch at Yuji and tries to kick at him. But this is where Yuji blocks what's called Todo's kick. Well, his kick with a knee attack. And, well, Todo was shocked because he had cursed energy in that leg, but then he realized he doesn't have cursed energy anywhere in his body no more. Then gets punched in the stomach. Now, of course, this is where Yuji's bandages don't get blown off, but this is where, well, Todo does get punched into multiple trees. This is where, well, Todo was knocked the fuck out. That punch was strong as hell. But this is where Yuji, his bandages were still intact. This is where Yuji, he decides to tie up Todo into a tree using some, bandages. Well, not bandages. He had a rope and all. He tied up, Todo into the tree, put a present, and looked at the bird, and just says, how about that, you you snowy fuck? This is where, Gojo says, you little shit. Because, yes, you see the screen and Yuji did notice the bird was there, and of course, Yuji was laughing and all that. This is where Gojo says, that little fucking brat! I'm gonna kill him if he doesn't stop playing with this shit. This is where, well, Urihime is laughing a lot because she is just dying. Of course, this is where Mei is also laughing. Seeing that, well, Gojo's antics with this kid. Well, yeah, antics. And of course, this is where, well, Gojo says, fucking kid. This is where Yuji is now running off. And of course, Todo is right now knocked the fuck out. So, I mean, he ain't waking up for any time. But yeah. It's a where, well, we go into Yuji running towards, well, not even towards. He's just running through the forest and all that. And of course, we go into the battle between Megami and the same blood user and all that. I forgot his name. Panda is still going against the other, well, not Cursed Corpse, the machinery or something. His name was like that. And of course, where, well, Miwa is right now going against what's called Maki, because Maki's trying to find Maya and all that, which Maki still knocks out Miwa and all that, and takes her sword still. The same thing will happen. But of course, where the blonde hair girl, she's trying to look around and all that, try to find Togo, but Togo is right now just saying, this is interesting. This is where Togo sees she is kind of flying past and all that. And this is where Togo says, go to sleep. And this is where, well, she already had cursed energy in her ears and says, there you are. And this is where Togo just realized that she probably had cursed energy in her ears, blocking out the sound. This is where, well, Togo's right now fighting against the blonde hair girl. This is where Yuji kind of was near the fight, and so he was there. This is where he sees that there's cursed energy in her ears, blocking it. And this is where, well, Togo's having a struggle time. Now, he has heard that this guy can use curse. Well, not has heard of it. He read that he can use curse speech. Can make anyone go to sleep. That's why he lowered his vocabulary to only, food types. But, yeah. This is where, well, Togo's saying, damn it. Well, not damn it. He says, salmon. But, yeah. This is where she says, oh, do you think you can just hide from me? A cursed speech user. This is where Yuji, he uses a scarf to kind of pull her. And of course, well, not pull her, just kind of make her stay still in the mid-air and all that. And she sees what's called, well, who it is, who has the scarf around her. And she sees Yuji. This is where Yuji has his eyes, well, kind of like open on it. And this is where he says, Togo, use it now. Tell her to go to sleep now. This is where she says, huh? You realize I have cursed energy in my ears. This is where she can't sense it. And Togo says, go to sleep. This is where she goes to sleep. So yeah, of course her broom falls down and all that. But of course this is where Yuji says, good enough. That's where Togo says salmon. Because he's trying to question what's called Yuji, how he can do that. Because he sensed that she had what's called cursed energy in her ears. Yuji says, oh, I can erase cursed energy. This is where Togo says, salmon? This is where, well, Yuji says, but whatever, I'm looking for someone special I need to find. You can go back to where Panda or the others. I need to find someone. Was it where Togo tried to say salmon again, but of course Yuji like disappeared. There's a word Togo says, salmon? Salmon, damn it. But yeah, basically he just walks away, and of course, but before walking away, he did kind of grab the blonde haired girl and her broom and try to just push her, well, kind of just bring her along, put her next to one of the buildings, and yeah, not trying to be rude and just leave her there, but yeah. That's where Togo is now just like saying, He then gets a call from Panda saying that, call this girl, and yeah. This is where Miwa says, yes, hello, this is useless Miwa. This is where go to sleep. Falls asleep, but yeah. This is where, well, what's it called? Maki, yeah. So I forgot to mention, Nobra is right now next to Junpei, and right now they're kind of near what's it called? Well, Fujigoro, but of course they aren't really kind of helping Fujigoro. They're right now fighting against cursed spirits. So of course this is where Nobra is saying, you're pretty good in using that what's it called? Kind of jellyfish. This is where Junpei says thank you. It's kind of my not second time using. Kind of my 27 using it. Kind of training with snowy hair guy, but yeah. This is where Nobra says snowy hair guy. This is where Gojo sneezes twice after hearing the names from what's called Junpei and Nobra kind of saying it. This is where Gojo says, God damn it. If they keep calling me Snowy, I'm probably gonna get sick over the fucking time of this goddamn exchange event. This is where Urahime is right now just laughing. This is where Mei is also laughing and Yage is actually kind of chuckling. But yeah. This is where, well, Gojo saying it's not funny. God damn it. If only Yuji didn't tell what's it called Junpei to call me that. Damn it. But of course we go into kind of Maya kind of just sitting in a tree and just waiting. This is where Maki says, oh, hello there, little sister. Maya kind of ignores her kind of, well, since they're the same twins, but of course Maki just want to be the older one, so yeah. But of course this is where Maya just ignores her. And this is where Maki says, hello, it's your older sister. Don't you want to be angry at me? Maya ignores her still. And of course this is where Maki says, yo, look at me. This is where, well, Maya's still ignoring her. This is where Maki just says, look at me. This is where, well, Maya just kind of had a tick mark and say, shut up already. I'm not here to fight you. You can go away and go help your friends. This is where Maki said, huh? Are you saying I'm not important? Are you saying that you don't want your big sis to be here? Maya says, no, I don't want you to be anywhere near me. Not because I don't want to kill you. I do want to kill you still. But you're not the person I want to kill the most right now. This is where, well, Yuji appears and says, Maya! This is where Maya looks at Yuji and has the intent to murder him. She's having this kind of anger, bloodlust at what's called Yuji. This is where Yuji says, great, she's pissed at me. Well, she's gonna kill me. This is where Yuji says, but whatever, I'll try to fight her. Because she's adorable when she's angry at me. Now, of course, this is where, well, Maya says, why are you smiling like that, Yuji? This is where Yuji says, well, I'm just here to talk, Maya. don't you want to talk? Maya says, no, now die. She uses her gun to shoot at, what's it called, Yuji, and Yuji manages to dodge with a fast reaction. This is where Maki says, what about me? Maya, don't you want to fight me? Don't you want to get revenge on me? This is where Maya says, shut up and go over there with your friends. Stop ignoring me. God damn it. Even though I want to kill you, I don't want to kill you the most. I want to kill Yuji. Now leave me alone. So, of course, Yuji is right now dodging different bullets attacks from Maya. And this is where Maya decides to create another gun from her, other arm. This is where when, they're watching this. And of course, Urahime is right now seeing that Maya is ignoring her sister and fighting against Yuji. She then sees that Maya created another, from her other hand, another gun. Another revolver. Now, of course, if I can remember right, Maya can actually create things from her, curse energy. So, of course, Maya has trained for a year, for one year, to kind of create things faster, instead of only being able to create one bullet when she met Yuji that one day. Because this is where she creates another gun, and of course the other gun has multiple other creative bullets in it, and of course she's shooting at Yuji. This is where, Maki is shocked to see Maya able to create another gun. This is where Yuji is dodging, having to dodge multiple bullets, and he having to use his scarf to swing multiple times and curve through the air, dodging, twisting his body and just dodging. This is where Maki says, Maya, how can you? This is where Maya looks at her sister and says, why are you still here? Why are you still here? Just leave. I don't want to deal with you now. This is where Maki just says, he's my teammate. And this is where, Yuji appears next to her and uses a scarf to kind of put around her waist and say, sorry, Maki, but I'm gonna launch you. See ya. I have to deal with your sister. That's where Maki says, no, she's now in the sky, and she says, that fucking bastards. So yeah, she gets angry at Maya and, Yuji. That's where Yuji almost gets shot by, one of Maya's bullets. That's where Maya says, you asshole. Like I said, I'm pissed at you, and you're gonna help me with my stress and being pissed at you. That's where Yuji says, I know what you want. But why you gotta be so angry, but that's still adorable. That's where, Maya keeps shooting at him. That's where Yuji is dodging, using his scarf to dodge. And of course, where Yuji uses his curse eyes, not curse eyes. He uses his demonic eyes to erase one of Maya's creation guns. When erased, it just becomes a particle. This is where Maya says, you bastard. So of course, she pulls out more bullets and puts them in the revolver and shoots at Yuji. This is where, Yuji is dodging left and right. This is where, Yuji's saying, you're pretty good, Maya. Very good. The last time I saw you can only use not that much curse energy. You have improved a lot. So, of course, this is where Maya is just saying, you asshole. You told me that day that you wouldn't join. Even if I asked you, I was telling you if you wanted to join, but you said no. And then I said, then don't join and help me out to get out of here. But then you join? You great fucking asshole. That's where Yuji says, I only did this because, I don't know. I just wanted to see you. It's been a year, so I mean, yeah. With a smirk smile. And of course, he almost gets shot by Maya's bullets, but Yuji managed to dodge with that reaction time. As where, Urahime is right now watching this, and she can see the stress and anger from, Maya's face. And of course, this is where, Gojo's saying, interesting. It's like they're fighting right now with their emotions and themselves. Yuji's mostly fighting with no emotions. That's where Urahime then says, does Yuji ever fight with emotions? That's where Gojo says, no, not exactly. He looks like he keeps him in check pretty easily. Like if he was some kind of robot, but yeah. So of course, where Yuji's right now fighting against Maya, well, using his left hand. Instead of, he's just using his right hand and his legs. And also, he only uses his left hand to kind of use the scarf. So yeah. Of course, well, Maya is dodging the attacks. And of course she says, why aren't you using that arm? That's where Yuji says, because I don't want to hurt you. Because you're too cute to be hurt. That's where Maya says, you bastard. Tries to shoot at him, and of course Yuji managed to dodge 2 bullets. And another bullet was coming towards him. That's where Yuji, like, dodges the bullet. It was only a meter second from actually hitting him right in the, what's called, face. That's where Yuji managed to dodge. Because his reaction time is so good. And his eyes actually can see, like, the Sharingan a little bit. So I can sort of see the attack coming in slow. And of course, Yuji uses his speed to dodge the attack. Because where Yuji's right now just saying, you're pretty good. Very good. You didn't even hesitate that time to actually kill me. That's where Maya's saying, because you're been pissing me off. This is where Yuji says, aw, so mean. Doesn't wear well. He uses his scarf more to try to tie her up. And of course, this is where, when the scarf was about to like contact her, this is where she decides to create from her other arm a sword and cut things down. This is where, well, Yuji is shocked. And of course, everyone that's watching this right now, Urahime, Gojo, and the others, are kind of shocked. That's where Gojo says, you actually trained her pretty well. She can create a gun, another revolver for herself and other bullets in it. But now she can create a sword. You trained her well. Urahime says, but I didn't even train her. The only thing I can remember her doing every time that we tried to train was only do a bullet. Was that all an illusion so she can train for herself? This is where, well, the principal says, interesting. Maya's right now trying her best to fight against Yuji. Truly it's shown that, that Yuji boy has actually made her kind of go, well, become stronger. Wanting, well, herself to become stronger than Yuji. But this is where, well, in the battle when, Maya pulls out the sword, Yuji uses his eyes to cancel out the cursed energy creation, and of course became particles. This is where Maya says, you bastard. Of course, I can create while you can cancel it. Such a drag seeing you fight me. This is where Yuji says, isn't that my line? What? Saying such a drag? I don't care. Yuji saying, do you really not care? This is where Maya says, of course I don't. This is where they hear an explosion and says, what the hell was that? This is where, well, Maya says, what was that? Now we go into, well, the veils, well, not an explosion. But this is where, when they're still fighting, a veil still appears, because yes, the cursed spirits are still going to be attacking on it. And of course, this is when the veil has appeared, and the tags are shown to almost, Tokyo to win and all that. It explodes into, well, blue fire and all that. Or not blue fire, was it red fire or blue fire? I don't remember. But this is where when the teachers and all that were kind of shocked, and they're wondering what the even hell happened. This is where Maya and Yuji heard an explosion. Of course, they see the veil kind of happening, and an explosion happening. Togo's right now with Fujigoro and the other guy. And of course, this is where Miwa is kind of being dragged with Panda and also the blonde hair girl, but yeah. But of course, this is where, well, Panda is there and all that, with Nobra and the others. This is where Maki's also there. And this is where they see the cursed spirit, the special cursed spirit, named wait, let me remember. So the special grade is named Hanami. And of course, it's still going on with the others, kind of like saying that what they call, you all should die and all that. And of course, Maya gets there and says, what is happening? This is where she's kind of near Fujigoro and Maki. And of course, this is where, well, Maya says, what is happening? What the? A special grade. Is it where, well, the other says, well, no shit, what do you think it is? This is where Maya says, whatever, I just got here. This is where Yuji is kind of getting there, and of course, he's hiding right in the shadows. And of course, because he kind of likes the shadows, and he can easily get the enemy at disadvantage, but yeah. This is where, well, Hanami is like, saying, you all shall die and make you turn into nice plants, blah, 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 whatever it says. And of course, this is where, well, Maya shoots it at it. And of course, the bullet doesn't even affect what's called Hanami. So yeah, Hanami decides to rush at what's called Maya and tries to punch at Maya. So Maya tries to dodge it. But of course, her what's called special grade speed, she couldn't dodge. But something blocked the punch. Something, well, someone actually blocked it. Yes, Yuji blocked it with his left arm. But of course, his left arm did kind of, well, didn't explode or anything. But of course, he blocked it. That's where, well, he then throws what's called the, what's it called? Person, what's it called? The curse spirit pushed back and all. And of course, this is where, well, Todo says, what happened? What the hell, a special grade? That's where they said, where the hell have you been? He says, I was tied up by what's it called? You, motherfucker. That's where Yuji says, yo, nice to see you're awoke. Man, I want to be asleep. This is where Todo says, then let me fight him. That's where Yuji says, no, I'll fight him. You all gotta get out of here. Right now, I can see from the veil, it seems like it's protected only against Gojo, but at least the other students, like us, can get out. This is where, well, Maya's saying, what are you saying, Yuji? That you all can leave. This is where she says, what about you? Why did you exclude not yourself? This is where Yuji says, because I'll be fighting this creature. While you all escape, try to get Gojo in. Right now, if I can't. Let me just try to buy you all some time. This is where Maya says, no, you're not doing this to me again. This is where Yuji says, we don't have time for this. Todo, can you mind just grabbing her and just pulling her towards the veil and all that? Try to get the other injured or napping students out of here. This is where, well, Togo is right now injured from his mouth, so yeah. And of course, he's near right now next to Panda and all that. And of course, Kamo, or whatever his name is, Kamo, whatever, the blood user is also knocked out, but yeah. This is where Fujigari says, no, I'm not leaving. This is where Maki says, oh, come on, let's go. This is where, well, Todo says, let's go, Maya. This is where Maya says, no. Yuji, you're not breaking, well, what's it called? This is where Maya says, no. I'm not letting you die, Yuji. This is where Yuji says, it's fine, Maya. I'm probably the only one right here to kind of fight against the creature and give you time. Don't worry about me. Adorable. This is where Maya says, no, you idiot. No, and no. This is where, well, Todo's trying to pull her back until she managed to, well, loosen the grip between Todo and her. And of course rushes to Yuji and says, I'm not letting you go, okay? She's right now kind of crying and saying no. And this is where Yuji says, I'm sorry, Maya. Todo, you mind grabbing her? Of course, this is where Todo managed to grab her away. And Yuji says, but good luck in you living and all that, Maya. This is where, well, Maya says, Yuji, please promise me you will at least, live on. Please tell me you will live. This is where she says, please promise that you will come back. Yuji says, I promise. This is where she says, you better not break this promise again. Or any promise. This is where Yuji smiles and says, yeah. This is where Todo just grabbed it and just kind of ran. Well, Panda, Maki, and also the others kind of ran. Towards the veil out. And of course, Hanami says, do you really think you will be able to stop me, human? This is where Yuji tries to sense him and still sees that the the cursed energy from their he can still sense him, and of course they're getting further and further away. And of course, when he sees that they finally got out, Yuji, he just says, I guess it's my turn. I guess I won't be holding back no more. Because I have a promise. And I will keep that promise. This is where, well, Hanami says, oh, really? Then I guess you'll be fighting me. This is where Hanami rushes at Yuji. Yuji blocks it with his own arm. And of course, Hanami did realize that punching Yuji in the arm doesn't really affect his arm or explode it. Hanami realized that the punch in the arm feels like punching something hard. This is where Yuji says, well, Yuji rips off what's called his somewhat the long sleeve, just ripping it off, and of course it's just all bandaged up. Hanami says, "What the hell is that?" And this is where Yuji says, "You will see." Yuji says, "Because I'll kill you right now where you stand." This is where Yuji takes off what's it called? His goggles. Well, he took off his goggles and put them on what's it called? Well, what's it called? Maya, and says, "Good luck." This is where, well, everyone can see his eyes. When they were leaving, they were kind of shocked to see his eyes. This is where Yuji, he now just his eyes, and of course he ripped, well, what's it called? He puts curse energy, like a lot, and exploded, what's it called? The bandages off his, what's it called? Arm. And of course, is where, well, Yuji says, "Because you're not fighting against a normal human, or would you?" That's where Hanami was right now on guard, because he or she can actually see that Yuji is not a human, a normal human. Because I say Hanami to be he or she because it sounds like a girl, but I can be guessing that's just because that's how it sounds like. So I'm gonna just say him. So of course, this is where, well, Hanami rushes at what's called Yuji. Yuji dodges and uses his scarf to kind of uses the building to kind of jump around and fight against Hanami, and of course uses his arm to punch at what's called Hanami. Right now, Hanami blocks his arm, but realized that this arm is strong and could explode his what's called hand, which it does. It does explode what's called his right hand. Of course, this is where Hanami realized that he needs to get serious, and of course shows his black arm, his what's called black arm with that rose or whatever, and says, "I'm gonna have to get serious with you." That's where Yuji starts fighting against what's called Hanami. And of course, they're right now clashing with arms and all that. But mostly Yuji is using a demonic arm. And also does use his right arm some occasions. But if they're powerful blows, he blocks it with his left arm. This is where Yuji is getting kind of tired. But he does use what's called his eyes to erase the erase the attacks. Erase the cursed energy and creation or whatever. And this is where Hanami is just seeing this. And it's right now getting his ass kicked by, well, this just human child. Not even at his prime. This human child is not even at his prime and still beating the hell out of him. Well, he can't really say it's a human child because that arm and those eyes are strange. This is where Yuji is getting tired. And this is where Yuji did get punched in the stomach and did launch into a couple buildings. And this is where Hanami says, "Well, I gotta go after those people." This is where Yuji says, "I'm not done." This is where Yuji gets out. And of course, his, some of his shirts and other things are kind of scratched up and all that. And kind of torn. And Yuji says, "I won't give up. Not from a long shot. Because I promised her. I promised that I will come back. Like I said, I won't give up. I will never give up. Because I made a promise," Yuji said. "And even if I have to sacrifice my life for her, I still will make a promise that I will come back alive for her. I was not going to give up. I might have broke her promise first, but I won't break her promise again. Because that is my way. I won't make her regret anything. No, not a single thing. Make sure not to curse her with anything, because I don't regret life. Because even though I wanted to die to meet my grandfather again, I won't die this time. Not because I have friends and I have her. So with that, I won't die. Even if I have to sacrifice my soul to the devil, I won't die. I just won't die." Something exploded from him. Energy started exploding from Yuji. Curse energy. And lots of it. Of course, around his, his other arm started becoming more demonic. This is where his legs start to become more demonic. But his, shoes kind of exploded and all and became more demonic features. And of course, two wings spread out. Well, what's it called? Four wings actually spread out from Yuji's back. That's where, well, the tail kind of also spread out, but also what's called Yuji's eyes. They have scales around what's called his eyes. A horn actually appeared, like two horns. And well, what's it called? Not what's it called? Four wings, two wings. Somewhat not a tail or nothing. But of course, his eyes, yeah, like I mentioned, just one horn. Here's where, well, Yuji says, because I won't die and I won't let her just hate me for the rest of the life. This is where, well, Yuji is something different. That's where Yuji says, and I won't let her die. This is where, well, the cursed spirit says, what the hell? What the hell are you? Yuji says, even if I have to become more demonic to save everyone, I will kick your ass so hard to at least kill you. So of course this is where Yuji, he rushes at what's called, well, not his other arm didn't become demonic, but something appeared right in front of Yuji. It looked like a katana, somewhat. It looked like a katana, a red glowing katana, and Yuji grabs it and does just like put it on, well, uses on his right hand. That's where Yuji, his eyes are still the same, but they become more crimson red. That's where Yuji rushes at, well, what they call cursed spirits, slicing off, well, one of its arms. Hanami just realized that his speed is incredible. He's no longer human. That's what he's thinking. And is right now fighting against what they call Yuji. Yuji's clashing with what they call cursed spirits. I should also mention, but the veil actually started having more cracks and all that. Also, what's called, when the others were trying to escape and all that, they already did met the guy with what's called the axe and all that in his hand. I forgot his name. So, of course, they met the guy, and of course, Todo knocked the fuck out of him and did take him out of the veil. But yeah. Of course, as where, well, with that happening, the veil had cracks around. And when Gojo tried again, he realized the veil had cracks. Everyone saw the cracks. Because it where, well, a power shake inside. They don't know what it is. And of course, this is where the old man was about to get in, but then saw the knocked out captured by what they call Todo. But yeah. But this is where we go into Yuji just right now clashing. And clashing multiple times with the cursed spirit. Punching left and right, kicking. And of course, this is where Yuji also uses that red crimson sword to slice at what they call, well, what's it called? The cursed spirits. Now, of course, the cursed spirit managed to dodge, but it does burn the air. This is where Yuji's right now just attacking it multiple times. And of course, this is where, well, it dodges some of the attacks, but can't. Now, I should mention how the katana looks like, fully. So, of course, the blade is kind of black. Like, it fully looks like it's black. But it has a crimson kind of reddish glow to it. But, so a crimson kind of fireish kind of glow to it. But also, on the blade, the handle is kind of crimson red. But, of course, the diamond little things that kind of looks like the pattern and all that is black. And, of course, the what's it called? The railing or whatever it's called. It has, well, a railing. But of course, it looks like a, what's it called? It's not circle. It just has like 6 pointy things and all that from it. Now, of course, it's shaped to look like a circle, but it's like 6 pointy things. And of course, this is where, well, the blade, it's black. Like, it's like sharp and black and all that. But of course, it has like a somewhat pattern of fire on it, on the blade. But of course, this is where, well, Yuji is right now fighting against what's called the cursed spirit. So of course, the cursed spirit is right now dodging against his sword. And of course, this is where, well, when it's trying to dodge against the sword, of course it does burn like the air. This is where Yuji is also flying in the air, trying to slice at what's called the cursed spirit. Also does use its what's it called. Yuji does use what's called his scarf, because he still has a scarf on. And of course, it can erase what's called the cursed energy from what's called the creature. But of course, it can't. He cannot erase this creature permanently or anything like that. It's because it does hurt his eyes a lot. because he's actually trying to make his eyes better and all that. Right now, he's just what's it called breaking his limits from his eyes. He's what's it called Yuji can use it for a couple of like hours and minutes because well, Yuji's eyes will get tired just like Gojo because Gojo does use the blindfold to cover up his eyes so he won't use that much energy. But yeah, and so it won't give him a headache from all the knowledge. So I mean yeah, but Yuji he does the same. That's why he has his eyes somewhat closed. So of course Yuji is right now clashing with this what's it called Hanami, and of course they're just clashing, and of course a shockwave happens in the veil, and of course kind of destroying some trees. When of course Yuji uses his demonic arm from his left arm, clashing with what's it called? Well, the creature, well not the creature, the cursed spirit, and of course making a shockwave. And of course, they just, well, get pushed back, but Yuji does use his wings to stabilize. And it's right now rushing out to call, well, the cursed spirit. Of course, uses his sword to slash at it. Of course, cutting what's called, well, the cursed spirit's arm off. Only the white one off, not the black one. This is where, well, when the white one is cut off, Hanami did try to regrow it, but it can't. For some reason, it feels like there's something erasing his cursed energy multiple times. Yes, there's actually a dome around what's called Yuji. If you're inside this dome, he erases all cursed energy. That's where Yuji says, I won't give up. Not for her sake. That's where Yuji knees him in the stomach, but uses his scarf to pull him in still. And then punch him in the, back. When he pulls him in and kind of punch him down to the ground and all that. And then stomps on him. And of course, the cursed spirits, he just gets up and tries to fight against Yuji hand-to-hand combat, and Yuji does it, and this is where Yuji fighting against it. Bah! Hit him right in the stomach again, and of course, launch him into a river and all that. And of course, this is where Yuji is saying, I won't lose this. This is where the cursed spirit regens again, managing to. This is where Yuji uppercuts his shit when it appears right under his guard, punches him in the fucking jawline. This is where what's called cursed spirit is like, what the? Damn it! I couldn't react fast enough. His speed has all grown up, or not grown up. His knowledge just increased. It's amazing. A human like this, with this much power? No, not even a human. Something more demonic than Sukuna itself. I said, where Yuji? Then when, of course, the cursed spirit is up in the air, Yuji says, I'm sorry, what's it called? I won't give up. That's where Yuji, he then uses his sword to hit it, hit it in the ground. And of course, this is where something activates in the sword. Chains appear from the ground, or rushing towards the rushing towards the cursed spirit. So of course, multiple chains hit grabs, but start pushing up the cursed spirit. Up to the veil, smashing it up to the tippity top veil and all that, kind of cracking it more. And this is where Gojo sees it, and he's about to break it. But this is where Yuji says, I won't give up. Even if I have to use this, attack again. And I might need to burn my eyes. But killing you might be the right answer. That's where Yuji says, demonic devastation blast. That's where both his eyes kind of go in glowing red. And of course, they're crimson red right now. What's called Yuji's eyes. Before they were crystal, but now they're crimson red. And of course, Yuji just says, screw yeah! Boom! He shoots his, a blast from his eyes. Rushing towards Hanami. And Hanami just says, no, I won't die. Just like Makiho, or whatever his name was. This is where Yuji holds on to the sword and uses his left arm to kind of grab the ground so it won't push him away. And of course, to stabilize himself in the ground and all that. And of course, this is where, the blast hits Hanami. And of course, it's hitting right to the dome. And of course, the chains disappear. And of course, this is where Hanami says, I won't die. It blasted through the veil. The veil just breaking an instant. This is where Gojo saw the veil just cracks into a million pieces. Instead of just dispelling another, it just cracks into a million pieces. With that happening, this is where, Gojo sees the red light and says, Yuji, no! This is where Maya and the others sees it. And of course, Yuji saying, die! Blasting it with more power than normal. That's where Yuji is tired. He's saying, ugh. His eyes are pretty burnt because they use so much energy in it. This is where Gojo says, Yuji! He sees Yuji with demonic wings. One-eyed demonic wings. His arm. But of course, he then sees what's called Yuji with a horn. But his wings are disappearing on it. Yuji says, hey, no hair. This is where Gojo gets a tick mark. But of course, Maya rushes. Well, what's it called? Maya was crying for the fact that she was hoping Yuji will win and all that. So we go back into what's called the POV when they escape. Maya was crying. Of course, she said, no, I need to go back in there. That's where, well, Todo says, no, we're not letting you back in there. Maki says, whatever. Maya, explain why you want to help him, why you want to kill Yuji more than normal, instead of attacking me. That's where Urahime, she tries to go in there, but of course the old man says, nah. Or Todo says, not either. So, of course, this is where Gojo is kind of surprised to hear that Yuji's the one inside. And, of course, hearing that Yuji sacrificed himself to kind of save the others. This is where Gojo was worried to kind of hear that, because he's not wanting Yuji to kind of waste his eyes again. So, yeah, for him not to go blind. But, of course, we go into Maya says, no, I don't want him to die. Now, of course, she is actually kind of healing what's called Fujigoro, because Fujigoro was also kind of hurt from the same attack and all that. And what's it called? Shoko was kind of rushing outside to kind of heal the students and all that. But of course, this is where Fujigoro is like, my body hurts. This is where, well, Maya went up to him. And of course, this is where Maya kind of went down, kind of crying a little bit. But trying to heal, what's it called? Or kind of take out the, what's it called? The plant and all that. And of course, this is where Maya, she's trying, but of course she's crying. And of course, this is where Fujigoro is saying, are you that worried about Yuji? This is where, well, Maya says none of your business. But of course, she's crying, and of course, she just like remembers that one time multiple times. And of course, she now remembers this time about that promise, and she's hoping that he doesn't die. So her eyes were a kind of brass, well, not brass, it was kind of goldenish color. And of course, her eyes changed from that goldenish color to a light green color. And of course, this is where, well, wings started appearing. Kind of like angel wings. Well, not angel wings. Not angel wings. I'm just kidding. But this is where, well, she's actually managing to take out the plant and all that. But of course, her cursed energy is not blue or red. It's right now being green. This is where, well, with that happening, she's actually, what's it called, taking out the plant. And of course, this is where she's also I don't know why I said Asala. No, she's also what's it called, recreating what's it called, organs that, what's it called, Fujigoro might have got hurt with. And of course, she does it with the other students and all that. And does heal what's it called, the other students, like, health and all that. This is where she's kind of tired, but yeah. This is where they see her eyes, and it's kind of permanently green right now. This is where Gojo sees it. He says, but that's not something part of the Descendant clan, is it? He kind of asks Urahime, and Urahime says, I don't know. I think I'm gonna know. I don't know. This is where Maki says, your eyes. Right now, Maya is kind of crying still, but she's kind of trying to be tough, but she's kind of crying. This is where, well, we go back into the POV when Yuji's kind of hurt. Now, of course, when the barrier's like broken down, Maya runs in because she saw the blast and she's kind of scared. And she actually managed to outrun half of the students. This is where they're shocked with her speed and all that, because, yeah. This is where Maki is the only one that managing to keep up behind her. This is where, well, when Maya kind of goes into the site and sees Gojo there, she sees what's it called, well, Yuji right now on the ground. This is where Maya says, Yuji, no! She rushes past what's called Gojo. And this is where Gojo sees Maya right now kind of crying and running past. And of course, this is where Gojo says, not this again. This is where Maya says, Yuji, please wake up. No. She sees the burn marks in his eyes and says, Yuji, when she was using her reverse kind of curse energy ability to heal people. This is where, well, she's what's it called, healing some organs that might have got exploded and also hurt from what's called a special grade curse spirit. And this is where she sees what's called the burn marks in his eye. And when she uses her curse energy, she sees that it's kind of really hurt. So of course she's using her, well, curse energy a lot. She's saying, no, please don't die on me. No, you're the only one. No, you're not dying on me. This is where, well, she kind of adds so much curse energy. And of course, it is kind of reverse curse energy, but it's green for her, so yeah. Of course, this is where, well, wings started, well, kind of sprouting out from her back. Angel wings. And of course, somewhat a green halo started appearing. This is where it's kind of somewhat still invisible or what, and her wings started kind of small for, yeah. But of course, this is where her technique, her reverse curse energy started to become stronger. And of course, well, healing was to call Yuji's eyes. Seeing that Yuji's, well, one of his eyes was kind of already hurt, his left eye, kind of became, well, stronger by the reverse curse energy from Maya, and also kind of recreated. So Maya kind of recreated his eyes to become much stronger than his previous ones. So of course, yeah, which I mean, recreated. I mean, like, she managed to recreate the eye structure and all that to be stronger than its previous, well, eyes, making its eyes be able to shoot lasers normally instead of burning it up. So yeah, and also it did kind of get boosted up from the, well, demonic abilities. But yeah, this is where, well, Yuji kind of cracks his eyes open a little bit and says, Maya, is that you? This is where Maya says, Yuji, you're back. You're not dead, thank God. Of course, Maya felt so weak at the time. Like, she felt like she used so much energy. And she, like, passes out next to Yuji, kind of hugging him. Kind of happy. Yuji was also hugging her. So where, well, when the others manage to get to the site, they see them kind of hugging. But yeah, as a where, well, Maya is kind of was sleeping and all that. Same with Yuji. Gojo was just shocked. The fact that Maya managed to, well, her eyes just activated to a different color and it's now just permanent. Just like Yuji's abilities. Gojo saying, what the hell is happening? 2 different eyes, and they are able to be powerful. While Yuji's, well, abilities are to erase. Could it be Maya's eyes, our ability to create and heal? I don't know. But yeah, this is where we go into, well, the, well, kind of a hospital bed. Yuji and, well, what's it called, Maya are still in the same kind of position, hugging each other. But yeah, for, well, 2 days. This is where, well, Yuji kind of cracks his eyes open first for a little bit. He says, what the hell happened? This is where, well, Maya does the same. He says, what just happened? This is where, well, Gojo and the others, well, Gojo, Shoko were there. And of course, Shoko says, they're fine, see? This is where Gojo says, hey, you 2 sleeping, what's it called, birds? Or not sleeping birds? Cute couple, sleeping, you know, I can never think of anything. This is where Gojo just said that. This is where, well, Maya kind of looks at who she was kind of hugging. Because she thought she was just hugging a pillow or anything like that. Like a blanket or something like that. Because, yeah, or like a stuffed animal. And she sees it's Yuji. And Yuji sees what his arm is under and sees his Maya. So, of course, both their faces become red. This is where, well, Gojo says, so you guys finally realize what the hell you're doing. You know, Yuji, since, what's it called, how should I say? It's very interesting, don't you think? You're kind of showing more emotion to normal. You 2 show more emotion together. This is where, well, Yuji says, shut up, snow hair. This is where, well, Gojo says, stop calling me that. This is where the, what's it called, the other kids, like the Tokyo and Kyoko, were outside. and they heard the commotion, so they run in and say, "Yo, is Yuji and Maya okay?" And of course they didn't. They can still see they're still kind of hugging and all that. Well, Yuji's arm is kind of under what's it called, Maya, and Maya is still kind of hugging Yuji. So of course where Yuji's other arm is kind of what's it called, at his back of his head. But yeah. Now it's his what's it called kind of left arm that's under Maya, but yeah. But this is where the others see what's it called, what's happening, and this is where Urahime already did take a picture and all that for them and all that, and of course she says, "Oh, it's so cute." This is where half the girls say. This is where Maki says, "It's not cute, but it's cute." But I don't know what to say. This is where Gojo says, "I tried to take a picture of you two, but Urahime right here stops me. Every girl stopped me from doing anything stupid like that. Why can't I take a picture?" Yuji says, "Because Snow Hair, I don't want you to take a picture. You are kind of creepy half the time." Gojo goes, "Tick mark. Look here, you little shit." Yuji says, No. Listen here, Snow Hair. You remember that one study of kind of studying about cursed energy? You gave us like those two kind of, well, not 2 books, just those books that you gave me and Junpei." Gojo says, "Yeah, what does that have to do with this situation?" "Well, you gave me the wrong book, but I didn't want to say anything. Because, well, what it said in the book was Gojo's diary." Gojo goes, "What did he do to that diary? Please tell me you didn't, well, what did he do to that book? Please tell me you didn't read it." And this is where Gojo says, "Oh, I read it. And God, I can see that it shows some of your weakness a little bit, or not even weakness. It doesn't show much of your weakness, but it can show how much cocky you are, and how, what's it called, into you are to someone named Urahime." This is where Urahime goes red and she says, "What? What are you talking about, Yuji?" Gojo says, No, he's not talking about anything. No." This is where, Yuji says, he says a lot of plus 18 stuff. And of course, the where Urahime is blushing red. And of course, where Gojo says, "You idiots, you weren't supposed to tell her that." This is where, Yuji says, "Oh, well, it's better if you don't have those what's it called pictures then. Fuck you, Snow Hair." It's where Maya was kind of like giggling a lot because, what's it called? She was kind of red, but every girl was kind of red also. But of course, this is where, she started kind of giggling a little bit because she's actually seeing that Yuji's kind of causing trouble with what's it called, Gojo. But yeah, this is what Urahime says, "I'm going to kill you, Gojo." This is where Gojo says, "But you can't hurt me." Yuji activates his eyes a little bit, and this is where Yuji says, "Now you can punch him in the face. He doesn't have limitless on. I turned it off." This is where Urahime says, "You can turn it off? But that's not the point. Come here, Gojo." Gojo says, No, you don't." This is where Gojo says, "How long did you turn that off for?" 24 hours. I actually don't even know how I can. But whatever. Good luck with that. This is where Gojo says, 24? I thought you just said you can only do it for 4 hours. I actually don't know. It doesn't hurt my eyes for going that long. But hey, good luck with that, Gojo. Gojo says, "No, you little..." He tries to grab, Yuji from the bed and all that. Until, Maki grabs him from the arm. Not Maki, Shoko, and just kind of slap it away and says, "Shoo, Gojo. How disgusting of you to do in that diary." This is where Gojo goes, This is where Urahime grabs him from the collar and says, "We're going somewhere, and I'm going to kick your ass." This is where Gojo says, "I'm so dead." "Yes, you are." This is where, Maya's kind of laughing because she can see that Yuji is kind of being chosen a lot for Gojo, but yeah. This is where, the other guys, they were like, holy shit. Fujigoro, he was still kind of emotionless, but he was like, damn, Gojo's gonna die. So yeah. So of course Todo says, "But it was amazing to know that you actually managed to defeat 3 special curse spirits." Spirits. This is where, Yuji says, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." This is where, they say, "How the fuck can you forget about that? Yuji says it's too troublesome to remember. Ah, you idiot. But yeah, Yuji just said that. Is it where well? Yuji is still just in the bed with what's it called Maya and all. And does it work well? Um, Shoko says, "Can you two walk or something?" That's where Yuji says, "I think." Yuji got up and all that, and Maya did also. She let go of Yuji and all that. She was kind of blushing a little bit. But yeah. Now, of course, is where, well, Yuji says, such a drag. This is where Yuji says, "I feel like going back to sleep." This is where Shoko says, "You slept for 2 days. 2 days. No, you don't. You realize the exchange was kind of pre-posed because of you two. You two didn't wake up for 2 days. And you want to go back to sleep, Yuji? No." This is where Yuji says, "Damn, such a drag." But yeah. Now, I should mention who actually went to go get the cursed object. Like the cursed objects and the cursed fingers. Well, it was someone. Now I mentioned who it will be in the near future. When part 2, well, not part 2, when, what's it called, season 2 comes out. If it doesn't come out, because I don't actually remember when it was going to come out. If it doesn't come out this year or anything like that, I might go into the manga. Might. I really don't like going into the manga, but yeah. Not because I don't like people getting spoiled by it. No, it's because I might just fucked up some things. So yeah, the anime explains it better for me than me just reading. Okay, I'm a retarded fuck for reading things. But whatever. I'll go back into the anime. The what if mostly. So we go into Shoko and Yuji right now, kind of near what's called near a table and all that, like in original canon. And of course, everyone is inside that room and all, like Todo and the others. This is where Maya and Yuji right now next to each other. And of course, this is where what's it called? Yeah. So we go into that room and all that, and of course, Yuji and Maya are kind of talking a little bit. But yeah. But we go before that. Yuji and Maya are kind of outside, kind of talking. And of course, they're kind of getting really close until Gojo says, "What are you two doing?" Gojo's having, well, not Gojo, it was, what's it called? The blonde hair girl and Togo saying salmon. And this is where she says, "What are you two doing?" Well, not those two, Maki. She was saying, "What are you two doing exactly?" This is where Yuji kind of flushes away. And of course, this is where Maya does the same. Maya says, "Nothing. Nothing at all, sis." Older, nothing. She just kind of blushed. And of course, this is where Maki says, "You realize you two are too young to do anything stupid like that. Probably because you two are dating. Doesn't mean that anything." This is where Yuji and, Maya says, "We're not dating. Now stop it." They are both just looking away. That's where Maki says, "You idiots." This is where, they go back into, so yeah, we go into that room and all that. This is where Gojo comes in. Of course, he, his clothing is all kind of ragging up and, of course, fucked up, and yeah. Of course, this is where Gojo says, "Okay, we're going to do the next thing for the exchangement." Now, this is where they say, the others, it was Yuji that mentioned, "What about the thing?" This is where Todo says, "We don't really care about that, because we all have to become stronger, not just Yuji and Maya." Now, Maya, her eyes are kind of green still, so they stay green. But yeah. But they can actually become a deep shade of green when she's kind of pissed. But yeah. Same with what's called Yuji. But yeah. Now, her eyes are kind of like an emberish, or kind of, a jade or emberish kind of color. Emerald kind of color. But yeah. So, of course, it's kind of a light green. Now, of course, where, Yuji is kind of just saying, "What the hell are we gonna do?" This is where Gojo says, "Oh, since you want to know, here you go, Yuji. Just draw from that jar." Yuji says, "I refuse to draw from this jar, because I picked my fight to be with Todo." That's where Todo says, "Oh, really? You're gonna just pick the fight? I guess we're gonna have to fight right now." Yuji gets up, but this is where Maya says, "No, you don't. Draw from the freaking box." This is where Yuji says, "Fine." That's where Maya glares at Todo with her eyes kind of being dark shaded green, and says, "Sit the fuck down." That's where Todo sits down because he's kind of actually getting scared of Maya because she had explosive anger and tries to, well, she can create a lot of things. And it's kind of scary. But yeah. Now, of course, well, Yuji kind of draws from it. And of course, he's right now using his eyes to look at the, what's it called, box until, what's it called? Gojo says, Yuji, you can't just look from the box and try to look for names. But can you even look through? This is where Yuji says, it's not x-ray, so of course I can't look through it. This is where Gojo says, wait, can you? No, I can't use x-ray. Yuji said. This is where Gojo says, well, I'm trying to, but all of it say baseball. Why does every single paper say baseball? Gojo says, you can? Yuji pulls out a paper and it says baseball. He pulls out multiple papers and just says baseball. This is where the principal says, Gojo! This is where Gojo runs away. This is where, well, his, what's it called, Limitless hasn't came back. Well, not really. His Limitless has came back. It has been over 24 hours, but yeah. This is where, well, Gojo says, holy shit. Well, time to leave. So yeah, he left. This is where they says, what the hell? Yuji says, I gotta be playing baseball? You motherfucker. Pick another sport. I'm right here just trying to fight someone or pick some sport for me to go to sleep. Maya says, shut up, idiot. That's where Yuji says, fine. This is where, well, they're kind of shocked that Maya was like, kind of be one to make Yuji shut up, but yeah. That's where Junpan is right now next to, what's it called, well, Norba and also, what's it called, Fujigoro, but yeah. This is where they are confused baseball, too. But yeah. This is where, well, the next, what's it called, thing is, well, the baseball thing. So, of course, the baseball, and of course, everyone's getting ready. Now, of course, machinery is still, what's it called, that pitcher and all that. And he can only be that, but yeah. But this is where, well, everyone's playing baseball and everything kind of goes to the original same. So for Maya kind of being the one to kind of bat and seeing, what's it called, well, what's it called, Yuji be like the person that, what's it called, grabs the ball. I forgot its name. And of course, Maya says, Yuji, if I kind of make a home run, can I shoot you? That's where Yuji says, what the fuck, Maya? What kind of question is that? That's where Maya says, aw. That's where Yuji says, but if you miss, I want to see that adorable face when you're angry. This is where Maya blushes and says, you fuck. That's where Yuji laughs and all that. Well, not that adorable face, but that kind of adorable face you make when you're kind of, shy. This is where she's a fucking bastard, but yeah. This is where, well, when Maki threw the pitch and all that, and this is where Yuji catches it. This is where Maya just realized, Gojo says strike one. This is where when Maki does the same, Maya managed to hit it, but this is where someone catches it. This is where Maya says, fuck. Strike two. And then strike three, she just managed to hit it. But this is where, well, how should I say, Junpei that uses what's called cursed creature, which it was kind of a foul, but then again, there really was no rules to actually be using your curse or curse energy or curse abilities. So yeah, that's where, well, they just say strike three. This is where, well, Maya says, I'll do it later. Here's where not Gojo, Yuji says, sure. That's where, well, next is Yuji being the, what's it called, well, batter, and this is where Yuji says, guess it's my turn. That's where, well, they throw the ball, what's it called, machinery or whatever his name is, throws the ball and all that, because he's an automatic or pitcher and all that, and Yuji, he swings it with, well, what's it called, he has his left arm, and of course his right arm and all that, and he just hits the ball, and the ball just kind of flies off into space. This is where Yuji says, I really don't know how to control my strength half the time. After that battle, I really don't know how to control my strength. This is where Gojo says, home run, I guess? This is where, the two principals are talking, but of course they don't talk about killing Yuji and all that. But of course, this is where the two principals saying, it's shocking. That kid is so powerful. I'm not gonna lie, he'd be very powerful, more powerful than Gojo in the near future. As it were, well, the two principals says, yep, and Maki might also be, well, not Maki, might also be powerful just like him, since her ability might be too great. As it were, well, yeah, I go say true. As where well Gojo walks over and say ha 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 ha. As where Yaga says, yeah, I know, I have to keep something on Gojo. God damn it. But yeah. But this is a part where I'm gonna leave it off for part 2. But yeah, I would go towards what to call the other thing, but I'll mention that later. Well, for part 3. I know it'll be a short one, but yeah. Have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and potato. Potato.